Before we leave the air today, we are going to start we're going to continue a project we were doing. We're going to start on the other side of the street. Several weeks ago, over a period of a couple or three different shows, we went through the AEW talent roster and we pared it down. Who would we keep? Who would we chuck? And we've still kept those lists, folks. And we're going to polish that up even further when we get something to work with from the other company. And then we're going to make this an ongoing thing where we eventually whittle it down to how many legitimate talents does each company have, and then how do they compare with each other? But first, we got to do the WWE. And Brian, it took us a while to go through the AEW roster because there's 100 and whatever officially on that. I have a feeling the WWE roster is bigger, so we're going to start at, I guess, at A and see how far we get before we just want to hang ourselves in our closet today. Is that about concisely conveyed the information?
Well, I think we'll be okay without any hangings. But if I go to WWE.com under Superstars, they have all the champions, and then they have current superstars, and you could break it down to Raw, SmackDown, Free Agent, or current superstars, or all superstars.
Well, why don't we just, instead of trying to limit ourselves, since the pickings are so slim, why don't we just go all superstars? Because everybody, every superstar's life is important. And we need to consider whether or not to fire them just equally the same, no matter who they are.
Now, are we doing men and women together as part of the same pool?
Are they in any way segregated, or how hard do we have to fucking Jesus? Just men and just everybody at random. Oh boy!
All right, well, let's go through the champions.
You tell me, and we'll both know. How about that?
The undisputed WWE champion, John Cena.
Well, that's a trick question right off the bat, because if we keep him, we've only got 5 months of him. So, do we put that with an asterisk? We're going to keep a star like John Cena for 5 months, but not for long term.
The World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther.
Definitely going to keep Gunther.
The Women's World Champion, Io Sky.
Oh, Christ.
There is someone in Castle Cornette who's a fan of Io Sky.
Yes, there is. Stacy likes Io Sky. But Stacy ain't booking this. I'm sorry, Io has to go.
Oh, come on.
They have ruined the image of every Japanese wrestler, female wrestler, woman wrestler, because of painting them all up or making them all up to fit either the AEW indie Japanese schoolgirl fetish thing they got going on, or this ridiculous kabuki dancer deal that everybody in the WWE has to do. Nobody can just be Gail Kim, normal person who happens to be of Asian persuasion.
Well, I don't think I think the fans really like Io Sky. No one sees her as that, and she's very different. She's not a kabuki dancer or I don't even remember what you said about AEW, frilly person.
Frilly Japanese schoolgirl fetishistic type of thing. Like the Rihos.
The big problem is she wins the title and she hasn't had any title defenses. We haven't seen her do anything since then.
That's terrible.
She's very good. Let's go to...
Oh, God damn it. Then I'll keep her. Io Sky. We're going to have to separate the men and women later on unless we're doing an intergender division.
Women's champion, Tiffany Stratton.
You got to keep Tiffany. She grates on me, but they've elevated her to the top, and she is an athletic, robust-looking young thing.
The Intercontinental Champion, Dominic Mysterio.
Definitely got to keep... You know what? Remember, we had like 3 people that we kept on the AEW roster. I'd fired the entire page. Now... There's nobody going. Dominic, we got to keep Dominic.
Did we do the WWE roster last time when he was like a young babyface and we were like, I don't know. I don't know about him.
I don't know. It may have even been before him the last time we did this. But yeah, we didn't know.
The U.S. champion, Solo Sikoa.
again, we were being charitable with a lot of people in AEW because we were chucking so many of them. I think you still have, it's not even being charitable to keep Solo because he has value. He's not Jacob Fatu, but he's not either. So I think you got to keep Solo.
The Women's Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch is a superstar. Her best days may be behind her, but she's got a couple of good things in front of her. We got to keep Becky Lynch. She can cut a promo. She's got a fucking name. She's been a bigger star, but in the past, but they still like her.
The Women's United States Champion, Julia.
Oh, what have I seen her once? I know people like her. I wasn't thrilled. We got a lot of women.
She's a champion, Jim.
Yeah. Hey, so was fucking Pockets when he won something. Oh goddamn! Everybody's gonna get mad if I get rid of Julia. I don't know what to do with Julia. Can we just suspend some instead of firing them?
You do it. It's your roster. It's your roster. You got to make the decision.
Let's come back to it. We'll put Julia over on the side. If we need Julia, we'll call for her.
The WWE Speed Champion, El Grande Americano.
Okay, but this is again another loaded question. Besides Chad Gable, get well soon. He's had surgery. I don't want to keep El Grande Americano, but I want to keep Chad Gable. So is he listed twice?
More than likely, yes.
Well, then I'll keep Gable and dump Americano.
The Women's Speed Champion, Sal Ruka, or Ruka. I'm not sure. I've never seen her.
Well, and don't get used to her. Just because, for heaven's sake.
The World Tag Team Champions, Finn Balor and JD McDonough.
Their tag team division is so disinteresting because it's all mid-card guys and it's not the talent's fault. There's just no main event tag teams in the company anymore. Finn's a great worker, and Finn he's probably closer to the end than the beginning. I'm not trying to retire him, but he is older than he used to be. He would probably make a good trainer, good agent. Been a responsible professional. You don't hear bad stories about him. I would keep Finn on the cards, and JD works hard. Let's put JD over on the side in case we need something. Well, no, fuck it. Let's just keep JD.
Yeah, JD's pretty good. JD's pretty good.
We could do something different with him besides him being the smiley, large-headed fucking sidekick all the time.
Leave his head alone. Jim.
I haven't touched his head.
The WWE Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits.
What's their individual names?
Montez Ford and something Dawkins.
Ford is the one who has the extraordinary leaping ability and seems like he looks a little bit more athletic, I believe. I don't like the gimmick per se, and I think people are kind of tired because they've been there forever, but I would repackage Montez Ford and let Daryl Dawkins go away and learn a new hold.
The Women's Tag Team Champions, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez.
When did they win the belts? We just saw...
Well, no, Liv Morgan's injured, so Roxanne has been chosen. Freebird rules to take her place.
Well, we'll keep Rochelle because she got the size and the menacing demeanor. I think Stacy says Roxanne Perez is okay. Let's keep Roxanne Perez until we polish this down later.
And clearly they're building to Liv Morgan coming back probably as a babyface to confront Raquel for stealing her group and her man and her tag team partner and everything else.
We got to keep Liv Morgan. No, everybody's going to hear me Going to be happy to hear me say that, but she's a star now. I just don't want to see her wrestle a lot, but I like to watch her Box. No, I like to watch her fucking be in the middle of things and stir people up.
Jim, a few more of the NXT champions. The NXT champion is Obafemi.
Okay, and now also somebody sent a video where the accent is bullshit. I remember we were debating that. What's with the accent when we watched him the one time?
He does a good job with it.
I mean, you seem to be high on him. We watched the one match, and I recall that I wasn't thrilled. Is there something there to work with?
Absolutely.
All right, let's put Oba down.
The NXT. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, see what we can do.
NXT Women's Champion JC Jane.
Okay, at some point we got to start drawing some lines here, and even though Jane Wayne Gacy has a very attitudinal demeanor when she comes out for her entrance, no, we're getting down to the indie levels now. They've been in NXT for 5 years. If she's gonna come, she'd have come by now. A lot of times you hear that said in certain situations.
The NXT North America champion, Ethan Page.
You know, he was better after he left the Lollipop Guild. You know, let's put him over on the side there because I still need some convincing, but he ain't rotten.
You already threw away the Women's North American champion, Sal Ruka, or Ruka. What about the NXT Tag Team Champions, Hank and Tank?
I'm so now what?
And I don't know who these guys are. Hank and Tank.
Okay, well, let's grab him by the hank of the hair and tank him.
It's one of them's name is Hank Walker. And does it let me click on the tank? No, it only goes to the Hank.
Hank and the Tank. Well, it's the Tank brothers, Sherman and Septic. Yeah, we've never seen them, so we won't miss them. Bye, Hank and Tank.
And finally, the NXT Heritage Cup champion.
These are still all fucking champions?
That's right. Stax.
What, the record label or
No.
what is that?
No, I wish. No, Stax, I think he was a part of the Tony D'Angelo crew.
Oh, God, yeah.
Very curly hair. Looks kind of like Kenny G-ish.
Yeah, let's not have him around anymore.
All right, we will now go to the current superstars list.
Jesus Christ. Is this at least alphabetical?
Adam Pearce.
Well, Adam Pearce we would keep, but he's not on the wrestling roster. He is one of the general managers, and I have no squabble with the general management.
What about Adriana Rizzo?
Adriana Rizzo, well, her husband, Jilly, was always good to Frank. So, but at the same time, no. Who the fuck?
I clicked on her bio.
Who is that?
Oh, she's part of the group with Stax and Tony D'Angelo and Luca Crucifino. Very pretty girl.
Okay, I'm writing Luca Persephone.
So, is she on the list or is she on the side list? Where is she?
No, well, she's got to go with Stax and Tony and all the rest of her group or she'll get lonesome. So they're going to be sleeping with the fishes.
What about AJ Styles?
Keeping AJ Styles, obviously.
What about Akira Tozawa?
Oh, good Lord. I mean, even if it was comedy and even if he's a wonderful person, give him a job on the crew if you don't want to unemploy him. But what is he, 125 pounds and he just shows up to be in some comedy underneath group and get thrown around every once in a while? No, we don't need that. He could go to AEW, do that.
Alba Fire.
Hey. Did we start the fire?
No, but it's always been burning since the world's been turning.
Well, if we didn't start the fire, I'd say put it out.
What about Aleister Black?
Good Lord. Oh, my God. But if we fire him, will he show back up in AEW? Then we can we put him in suspended animation? He can do that kick, and most of the time it looks good. Every once in a while, it looks like it might give brain damage. And otherwise than that, he's like watching grass grow.
How about Alex Shelley?
Alex Shelley, we're going to keep him. The Guns are good, talented, and hardworking. They're just stuck in a division that is just, has no oomph to it.
How about Alexa Bliss?
You're trying my patience here. Sell me. Why? What does she need to do?
I'm not a fan. I can't sell you.
Okay, well,
she sells
she can
merch.
chase.
She sells merch.
Well, but a lot of these people would sell merch if we get started on them. She can chase Alistair down the road.
The ring announcer, Alicia Taylor.
Is she the one with the needlessly ridiculous hairdo? Yeah, she's got to go.
To be honest, you may be describing the guys too on the, the ring announcer crew right now.
Well, no, but the one that looks like the giant fucking cotton candy type of thing with things sticking out of it. Yeah, she wasn't old Samantha Irvin.
No.
Poor old Samantha having to sit home with Slick Dome.
What about Andrade?
Again, tell me any reason why. What should he be doing right now that would be interesting?
He's talented, but you'd have to do something completely different with him and not have him interact with. Like, it seems like he's only in feuds or dealing with the other Latino wrestlers. And it doesn't help him break away. But I don't know if I would keep him.
He can run away then.
From NXT, Andre Chase.
Poor fella. He's one of the, what were their names in Ring of Honor? You saw him, the brothers, him and his brother.
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
No, now I've blanked completely. Him and his brother were a team in Ring of Honor 15 years ago. What were their names? They worked the ring crew too. But yeah, this Chase University thing and that's been crap for years now. That when we were watching NXT years ago, they were still doing it.
Oh, he's one of the Bravado brothers. I never even
Bravado brothers. There you go.
Huh. I never even knew that. Interesting.
He can go. He can drop out of school and change his name. I might bring him back.
What about Angel Garza, who I believe now is technically one of their champions because he's one of the AAA Tag Team Champions now.
Yeah, well, I don't care, but at least he's got something to fall back on. Yeah, we need to try to get rid of a lot of the clutter here so that we can see the stars.
Apollo Crews.
We said in AEW we were going to try not to count bad booking or somebody just being, not presented interestingly, but there's something there. A guy that looks like that has that much experience, you might be able to get something out of him. I'd keep him around for a little while.
Here's an interesting one because I believe you may have interacted with this person a long, long time ago. Ariana Grace.
How would I have interacted with...
I could be wrong. I believe this is the daughter of Santino Marella.
Oh, is that the one he had sitting on his lap?
I don't know of any other one.
Okay, well, you never know. I mean, well, no, with him, I'm surprised he has a legitimate one, much less any others. Yeah, she could go visit her dad and sit on his lap again in the unemployment line.
Otherwise known as TNA. What about Ashanti Adonis?
I'm trying to remember the last time we saw him.
Yeah, actually, I don't remember. He was that one of Hit Row?
He was the one they kept when they fired the other ones, wasn't he? Or maybe?
I don't know. Well, we don't know who he is, so there you go.
We don't know.
Asuka.
Okay, I kept Io Sky. Which one would you rather have?
Right now, I would keep Io because Asuka's older.
Okay, then see you, Oscar.
Here's one that, it's funny, I see him, I think of you. Austin Theory.
Of course, we keep Austin Theory and in some fashion try to redeem what's been done to him over the past, I don't know how long. The only guy on the whole roster whose career suffered because Vince left.
The NXT general manager, Ava.
Oh boy, howdy. I mean, I'd like to come up with a line about she should go and do something she'd be good at, but I don't know what that would be. But no, she doesn't need to be on television at all in any way, shape, or form, wrestling or otherwise.
I'm in agreement with you on that. What about the masked Axiom?
He can go with his mask, or he can take the mask off and then go. As long as he goes, I'm not going to be picky. What is Hold on, Axon, Ax off.
Axiom.
I'm trying to find it. Axis, Axle Tree, Axiom. A self-evident or universally recognized truth, a principle that is accepted as true without proof. Well, there you go. If you think he's a star, you got to accept that without proof.
Jim from the women's division, B-Fab.
Oh, good Lord. How quickly can we get her bags packed? That's just, it's embarrassing. I mean, we enjoyed watching her because of the awkwardness and the impending imminent botch that was going to happen in any second, but really somebody ought to put her out of her misery in this thing, because she's never going to get it.
How about Bayley?
We'll keep Bayley. Don't even have to think about that. If we're trimming down a bunch of the clutter of the women's roster, there's plenty of room for Bayley, who can work and talk.
How about Berto?
How about who?
Berto.
Who the fuck is Berto?
He's the partner of Angel. He is also from the Garza family. And he's just known as Berto.
Well, he can go with his brother, because I don't want to break up families. I'm not a monster.
I don't know if they're brothers, but I get the point. Bianca Belair.
Got to keep Bianca, one of the biggest stars on the female roster.
Big E.
Well, that's not even a fair question. He's injured and is not going to, so we don't consider, we're not going to fire him, but we're not going to put him in the ring. He's working on their broadcast crew now.
And I have to say, I think he does a really good job with that. Like on the pregame and the postgame, it's not a game. The pre-show and the post-show, I think he does a really good job on those broadcasts, I guess we're calling.
Yeah, so if we get to the announcers and everything, we can bring him back into the picture.
I'm not sure who this is. Oh, he's an announcer. Blake Howard. Exactly. How about Blake Monroe?
Now, wait a minute. Wrestler or porn star?
This is the wrestler Blake Monroe, formerly known as Mariah May.
I thought that sounded familiar. Let's keep old Blake around. See what she can come up with. Mina Mellons has taken her place in the affections of Tony Storm, so she's out there ready. She's single and ready to mingle.
What about Booker T?
Well, again, the broadcast booth is another list that we'll compile, but obviously I wouldn't put Booker in the ring right now if you heard my agent report on him for 15 years. Well, he wasn't trying, though, back then. So,
but would you put him on the mic?
Well, that's a question we'll answer when we get to the announcers.
All right, because it seems like they're mixed in here. That's why I'm bringing this up.
Well, I think we ought to go back and goddamn talk about announcers later on.
What about Brynlee Reese?
I don't have any fucking idea who that might be. Is it a man or a woman?
It is a woman.
Can you tell by the picture?
It is an excitable woman, apparently, in NXT. Jim, what about Brock Lesnar?
If they could get him, I would have him because he's one of the biggest stars in the business, and he could put somebody over, if nothing else, in a big main event pay-per-view match. So of course you want Brock, but talking him out of Saskatchewan and or whether or not he's still got heat, maybe another factor.
And the payday he's going to want.
Oh, they ain't got any room to complain about paying anybody anything these days, the money they're making.
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker is not only being kept, but he would be moving quickly into the champions list.
I'm assuming from NXT, Bronco Nima.
Unless that's Bronco Lubitsch under another name, we can say goodbye.
Bronson Reed.
And we're keeping him right over with his other Braun.
Another one I'm going to assume is NXT, Brooks Jensen. It is a man.
He is one of the remember Brooks Jensen and somebody else, I said they sounded like Black and Decker. They were trying to make them a kind of a working class blue collar Southern tag team. One of them is the son of Bull Buchanan.
Oh.
Which I would keep him if I knew which one he was. Remember, they also made him look stupid with all the NXT girls because he wanted to date one or whatever the fuck was going on. We'll keep Brooks Jensen if he's related to the Bull Buchanan family and revamp his gimmick completely.
From the Creed brothers, Brutus Creed.
Well, it doesn't matter which Creed brother we're talking about because I think those guys are just misfucking cast. They're awkward. They're not natural workers. I know they're tremendous athletes and they can show their strength and whatever, but I haven't liked any of their work. I thought the guy's flying ass blow was fucking dangerous when he'd land his fat ass on people. And they just look like narcs in amateur wrestling gear. And they don't get the pro stuff. And I don't know that we're going to live long enough. I think these are another two Shane twins. That's my opinion. So they're gone.
On the topic of announcers, not necessarily commentators, I don't know if he does that, but he does backstage microphone holding, Byron Saxton.
Well, by the by, Byron, we'll put you over on the crew. There you are.
So you're keeping him?
We're keeping him on the TV crew. He can hold a microphone.
He does a good job. Not on commentary, but doing the other things. Candice LeRae.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We need to get Candy LaRue completely out of the company. I mean, seriously, an underachieving indie level, bland, boring, now over the hill talent, I use that word loosely, that never fit in with the fucking world-class athletes and the major fucking mamma jammas they've got on the women's roster in the WWE. She's indie, and she got in because her husband, Johnny Sameface, apparently has pictures of Shawn Michaels with a goddamn goat. Because the female Johnny Sameface is Candy LaRue. The male Candy LaRue is Johnny Sameface. They're indie, unremarkable athletes doing moves. But yet they persevere here in this, and I don't understand how.
I don't know this person. I'm assuming you don't either. Carly Bright.
You'd be very bright to assume that. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Carmelo Hayes.
Boy, what was he like, the number 3 draft pick? Maybe higher, and then got on TV and went on a 15-match losing streak. And yeah, no, there's nothing there.
Backstage interviewer Kathy Kelly.
Is she the one that is good or the one that's like all the other ones? Jackie Redmond is the good one.
Jackie Redmond's very good.
Kelly.
Yes.
Yeah, Kathy Kelly. No, fuck Kathy Kelly.
Well, she's all right. She's all right.
I don't mean to say that. We might keep her around for that. But,
all right. Be nice. Can you behave yourself?
Well, no, I want Jackie Redmond because she's the only girl interviewer that actually sounds like she's a legitimate sports personality. The rest of them sound like they're just doing script reading.
All right, you already kept Chad Gable. You already gave up on Stax. Apparently his real name or his wrestler name is Channing Stax Lorenzo. What about Charlie Dempsey, the son of William Regal?
I have not seen him the first time. Have you?
I think I've seen him in some like backstage vignettes when I've like gone past NXT, but I don't think I've seen him wrestle, no.
Okay, well, if he was any good, we'd have seen him by now. So, I mean, we could hire every wrestler in the world. They've got the money, but let's just concentrate on who we can, within the next couple of years, make something out of.
Geez, some of the photos they picked here. Jim, what about Charlotte Flair?
Of course, we're keeping Charlotte Flair, and everybody will go into fucking chaos about it, but she's goddamn major fucking name.
What about Chelsea Green?
You know,
I keep her.
well, that's the thing is, it's so over the top and so phony, but she's so committed to it. The whole personality and the finger pointing and the puns and the whole 9 yards and the flousy outfits. I'll keep her too. Can't stand to watch her, but what a heel that makes her.
What about Chris Sabin?
Chris, well, we got to have the Sabin to the Shelley.
CM Punk.
I think we could probably find a place for him on the card, just maybe to put somebody over.
How about Cody Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes. Yeah, we got to keep Cody Rhodes. We're in the C's, and I think we have as many people I've kept as I kept in the whole AEW roster. This is going to get crowded.
But we thought there were
A lot of
people
these
there.
people, there's nothing the matter with them. But if you went back and took another look and you were gelling it down to the 20 or 25 top money ball players, a lot of them wouldn't make it, but there's no reason to fire them either. So we'll see what we end up with. Go ahead.
Jim, as a commentator, Corey Graves.
I'd keep Corey Graves. He's new, he's young, he's hip, he's with it.
It's been there a while. I don't know if I'd say new.
Well, compared to Michael Cole, who's been there longer than dirt, he's so old I did his first show.
What about Cruz del Toro?
Can he cruise on out of here?
I'm assuming this is an NXT person. Cutler James.
Well, let's cut him.
Damian Priest.
We got to keep Damian Priest, if for nothing else than if we can't figure out a way to repackage that a little bit, then he can put some people over.
Seemingly from NXT, Dante Chen.
We saw him
We did?
do something at some point. I recognize that name. I don't think he's very good. So he goes.
How about Dexter Loomis?
Oh boy, I said I wasn't going to take bad booking out on anybody, but that the whole Wyatt thing needs to be stopped. There's something to Dexter Loomis. He can do shit for a guy his size, etc. Remember, I liked him a few years ago. Then he disappeared. Then he showed up in the Wyatt thing, and I try not to look. Let's keep him and figure out somebody else for him to be.
Another NXT person, Dion Lennox.
Another
These
firing,
fucking names.
Dion Lennox. Yeah.
He comes up with these names. Oh my God.
It's interchangeable, fucking just bland names.
Dragon Lee.
Oh God, how quick can we get rid of him? Jesus Christ. Maybe him and Mystico can team up and go stink the joint out somewhere else.
Drew McIntyre.
Obviously, he'll be at the top of the card. He's one of the great eight. And I mean, already we're only in the D's. And already done, not even talking about Cena because he's part-time now. Gunther. Hold on, I'm going down for main event players. Gunther. We've got Brock. We got Braun Breaker. We got CM Punk. We got Cody Rhodes. We got Drew McIntyre. We got 6 fucking main event level stars, and we're only to the D's.
But do you have Idris enough?
I've had too much of enough. So let's have less.
What about Elton Prince from the tag team Pretty Deadly?
Oh, God. Can we fire him and then rehire him so we can fire him again? That is the worst looking team, worst team gimmick, worst working team, worst sounding team. I bet they smell bad.
What about Eric Rowan?
He's the red bearded fellow with the Wyatts, right?
That is right.
I'd release him so he could go join Brody King. I think they used to be partners, and they'd look good together.
Was he partners with Brody King?
I think he was, wasn't he? Weren't they in some kind of group?
His partners with Brody Lee, but he's the one who passed away.
Oh, wrong Brody. Well,
he's not going to go do that.
Not going to go do that now. Well, he can do what he wants.
Jim, what about Eric? From the War Raiders, I presume.
I'm going to keep both the Vikings or the Raider. Eric Raider, and what's the other guy's name?
Ivar?
Ivar Raider. Okay. There's something in there. They were goofy as the Vikings. They're better as the War Raiders. But just 2 big fucking nasty looking guys like that, if you started them out with a logical, halfway decent gimmick and just let them do their thing, they can work. Maybe a manager would help.
What about Fallon Henley?
I think unless she's going to do Dawn's parts in the concert, she needs to go.
Grayson Waller.
Please, how far can we send him?
Man, you just hate him. You don't think there's anything there.
God. Nothing redeeming whatsoever.
Well, you're consistent.
Well, I mean, look at it. Bad physique, bad gear, bad haircut, bad promo, even because it goes on forever because somebody told him he could talk and now he won't shut up. And the booking is horrible. And what's good about it?
What about Ilya Dragunov?
Where is he gone?
I think he got hurt, didn't he?
God damn, did he get run over by a train? We haven't seen him in years. Yeah, I love that kid. I'd keep him in a heartbeat.
From the women's division, Ivy Nile.
Can we send her on a cruise? Up the Nile?
Up the Nile, okay.
Up the Nile.
What about Izzy Dame?
What?
Izzy Dame. This is another one of the superstars in developmental and NXT. Izzy Dame.
Well, is he a dame?
It's a girl. No, it's a woman.
It's a girl. Well, okay, then give her walking papers.
You already said you would keep Jackie Redmond.
Yes, I got to write her name down. Now that there you go.
Jacob Fatu.
Well, I think we can probably let him hang around a little while. There you go. Now are we up to 7 main eventers now?
And we will finish with Jay, and then we'll pick up again next time.
I was about to say, we're only at Jay. We've been doing this for a fucking hour. How many people?
Jim, what about Jade Cargill?
I'm thinking. She looks like a star. If you set her matches up, she has produced, but at the same time, is she progressing by leaps and bounds from where she was at AEW now that she's getting training? Or are they still setting her shit up step by step? And I mean, there's something there. Let's keep her.
From NXT, I presume, Jada Parker.
That's right. She was one of the Parker gang along with Ma Parker. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a Batman villain. Yeah, I don't
All
know
right.
about Jada.
What about Jasmine Nix?
Let's nix her.
How about Javon Evans?
What in the world is going on with these names? Let's move on, Javon.
I would keep Javon Evans. I think he's 21 or 22 years old, got height. He's athletic and he'll fill out more, connects with the fans. You know,
all right. Well,
he's only going to look
Javon
so good under Shawn Michaels' style of entertainment.
At least until I've seen him, let's keep him.
Jey Uso.
Got to keep Jey Uso. I would have a talk to him about certain aspects of his comeback timing, but otherwise we got to keep him. He's over.
Jimmy Uso.
I think you got to keep Jimmy Uso because he's, again, part of several of the intricate stories of the last couple of years, but it's going to be a natural progression to whereas they're just always going to think more of Jay than Jimmy now. They're not really going to reverse that.
Joaquin Wilde.
What? Who? What did he do? When have I seen him?
I think
I know
actually
the name. I've read it.
Wasn't he the one that, I forget where it was, because Carrie Silkin was in the room with you and there was one other person where you guys did that TV special where it showed like you guys doing Ring of Honor tryout promos.
Oh, yes. He had he didn't have that name then, but he was another person.
DJ Zima Ion or something like that?
Zemo. Yes. Goddamn, where's he been? You seen him lately?
He was one of the lucha suits.
Oh,
I think.
Well, no wonder we can't find him. There's 6 of them, and they all look the same, act the same, and intersperse with each other. I mean, we could hire Howie the mailroom guy too, but I don't really know what Joaquin is doing right now. Let's send him back to the pond and we'll catch him later when he's grown.
Joe Gacy.
Oh, good Lord. That's that outlaw looking guy in the Wyatts, right? He does a lot of
That is correct.
indie shit and handstands, but he looks like a half-baked brown and serve roll. Yeah, let's not have him around anymore.
On commentary, Joe Tessitore.
Joe Tessitore ain't doing too bad. We got to put him over on the broadcasters list.
Johnny Gargano.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, everybody knows where I'm putting him. Hold on, I'm going to have to start a new page here.
Only a few more names here on the list for Jay.
On the Jays.
Jordan Grace.
Have we seen her at all? She signed, but she never showed up.
We saw her in the Royal Rumble, I think, a few times, or if not, I think it was twice. That's why I say a few times. I think it was twice, but I've seen her on a few NXT things. I don't know if you would have.
Well, let's keep her for the moment. Old Butterface. Me and her are friends from way back.
2 more names here. I assume this is NXT. Josh Briggs.
That's what it was. Briggs and Jensen instead of Black and Decker. I don't remember which one is which, but I want whichever one Bull's son is. He's got to have it in his genes. So what's this guy's name?
Josh Briggs.
I don't think he's the one.
Does that pass the name test? Should any heel be named Josh?
Well, I mean, it depends. If it's a fucking job guy, Josh is a fine name. But if you're talking about a main event fucking star, I don't know that Josh Briggs, either one passes the test.
And finally, Jim Julius Creed.
Well, I've already written him down with his brother. Get rid of him back in the bees.
All
We
right.
have, there's 26 lines on a notebook pad paper, and we have gone through approximately 100 names and only gotten to the J's. But I got to admit, it's It's almost exactly half and half. I've kept about 5 less than I've thrown away. With AEW, I had everybody I kept on one sheet of paper, and there was 3 pages of get rid of them. So they're doing something right. But again, we're keeping on in both companies. We're keeping some guys just, well, there's nothing wrong with them. They could be on the card, you could repackage them. But then if you went down to polishing, you would say, okay, well, there's 10 of those guys and I only need 4. So 6 more might go, and one's kind of the same as the other. You just have to kind of figure out, and the thing is, if you're a movie director or a movie studio, you don't hire every goddamn actor in Hollywood for the same movie. You want to keep some out there. Hey, if this is a hit, we'll do a goddamn sequel. And then we can bring some other new actors in to interact with the stars of our franchise. So it doesn't mean you never wanted to use them, but they ain't nothing to write home about right now that you need them. That type of thing.
Well, that was the WWE roster A to J, at least according to WWE.com.
And if we can't trust them, who can we trust?